All right, class, today we're going to be talking about adding fractions. So let's start with the fraction 1/2. We're going to add to it 1/3. Okay? Now we can't just simply add straight across like we might think, where we would say 1 plus 1 is 2 and 2 plus 3 is 5. That is incorrect. We cannot do it that way. What we have to do with fractions is the bottom numbers have to be the same. So I want to draw this out for you and I want you to draw with me on your paper, follow along. 1/2, so we're going to draw a rectangle below this. And I'm going to split this rectangle in half and I'm going to shade in half. So this represents one whole and the shaded part represents the 1/2 in our fraction. So I'll write it there below it. And then we're going to do the same thing with 1/3. I'm going to draw my little rectangle. And this time I'm going to split it into 3 sections. 1, 2, and 3. And I need to shade 1/3. So that's 1/3. Now, as I've already said, we cannot add these together when their bottom numbers or denominators are different. So here's how we're going to make them the same. We're going to take this side, the half, and we're going to put it on top of this one. So I drew a line crossways on here. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And then I'm going to take my 3 sections over here and draw on this rectangle. So now we should have the same number of squares. I started with 2, started with 3. Now we should have the same number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now that 6 is our bottom number, okay? So here's what we want to do. Right beside this, I'm going to write a 6. And what we're going to do is count the number of squares that are shaded. It's 1, 2, 3. And write that on the top, in the top number, which is the numerator. So my new bottom number or new denominator is 6. My new top number or numerator is 3. So now I'm going to go to this side. I know my bottom number, my denominator, is 6. I'm going to count the areas that are shaded. 1, 2. So I'm going to write that in there. So now my new numerator is 2. So I'm going to take these 2 fractions and write them over here. 3/6 plus 2/6. Now, let's just count how many squares are shaded in both rectangles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. So that's my top number. 3 plus 2 is 5. And we simply bring our 6 over because that 6 represents how many total are in there in one rectangle. One whole is 6, okay? So we have, when we add 1/2 plus 1/3, and we go through to get the same denominator, we come up with the answer 5/6. That's how we add fractions. Remember, you cannot add a fraction to another fraction if the denominators are different. They have to be the same. And drawing it out like this helps us see how they're different and helps us see how to make them the same. And then we simply count up our shaded areas and we come up with this 5/6.